Guys, it never ends. It never freaking ends. These dudes will sit here and work overtime, triple overtime, 24/7 if they have to, in order to defend LeBron James. And it is sickening. They will try every tactical ploy in the book to make you seem like all you are some raging hater online, clickety clacking, spread LeBron hate for no apparent reason. When 99% of the times, when you look at most people who counteract this narrative about LeBron, are reacting to something that people in the mainstream media say. The constant lies. You guys push lie after lie to defend your narrative, and it has to stop. Now, this dude, right, Alex Lewa, right, this is Laker talk. He's been a beat writer for the Lakers for years. So basically, it's his job to defend all the Lakers for the most part. Like, that's his job. I understand that. But he's calling out LeBron James, quote unquote, haters. People who just hate LeBron. And for the life of him, and for the life of everybody that I've been seeing posting this week, they just can't understand why we just out here hating LeBron willy-nilly. We just run up, woke up in the morning one day and say, you know what? I hate that guy. And we just said we were going to do everything we can to spread hate for the facts of hate. No. Most people who counteract the narratives that you guys push about LeBron use facts, data, and statistics to prove that what you're saying is wrong. Why? Because you guys are marketing to us that this dude LeBron is the greatest thing we've ever seen. And that is just not the case. Could he have been a great player? Could he be somebody that you could say is magnanimous on the court? A great show? Absolutely. But when you start putting him in that upper echelon with the creme de la creme, you then have to appropriate and measure his career appropriately. So I'm going to sit here and show you guys this video, right, of this dude basically calling out and trying to debate, quote unquote, LeBron James haters. Like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate the love. Been working on getting my mic fixed as well because I hear y'all in the comment section. I don't know, man. I'm getting tired of trying to work with it back and forth. Hopefully it sounds better now. You guys let me know in the comment section.
You know what I like doing on this chat and what I like doing when I have a microphone? I like having a actual dialogue and a conversation. So do me a favor. For those that want to bitch and complain about LeBron and he's going to ruin the chemistry and this guy's a bum and he did this and he did that and he's ruining the NBA. And
see, and the first thing I want to point out right here, this is why this is stupid and why this is wrong. You're going to equate what people put in your comment section about LeBron as just bitching and complaining, right? So basically, it has no substance behind it. All you're doing is hating. You're a whine bag, a crybaby. Can that be the truth for certain people in comment sections? Absolutely, it can be. But that is definitely not the majority, and that's definitely not the norm. Most people have real reasons for why they don't like LeBron. Valid reasons. And because you just said bitching and complaining, you immediately invalidate those reasons as just some emotional woman sitting on the couch crying and on her menstrual cycle. That is absolutely not what's going on, and absolutely a horrible way to start this off.
my car broke down and it's LeBron's fault. For all those that want to do that, do me a favor when you.
So it's just nonsensical hating according to this guy. Your car broke down. Oh, it's Bron. Bron's the reason why Christmas is going to be canceled this year. According to him, Bron's the reason why my turkey didn't come during Thanksgiving. Bron's going to be the reason why our president might hike up taxes or even lower them. It's everything in the world is LeBron James' fault. Do you guys see what I'm saying here? Do you see the way he's trying to push this? These are manipulative tactics that they use on a consistent basis. And that shit has to stop, bro. Nobody does that when they're talking about someone else. If this was not LeBron, if we were talking about Kobe Bean Bryant or Bill Russell or Larry Bird, you feel me? The shoe would be on the other foot. And when you hear them talk about all of those players in comparison to LeBron, 9 times out of 10, it's going to come with a lot of disrespect to the other players in the league. But if you do it to LeBron, apparently you're some raging hater. You got to be able to point this stuff out as soon as you see it, man. It's bogus.
You type in this chat. Have a regular dialogue conversation where I can do something with it, where I can actually highlight it and I could say, wow, that's an interesting point that I haven't thought of. Interesting angle that you're taking here. Don't just...
Could it just be that you don't do too much thinking at all? Maybe that's it. Maybe you just don't use your brain, right? Now, I'm going to play nice just for the sense of this is his show. Let's go ahead and play nice, guys. Let's use facts, data, and statistics, because normally when we come on here, all we do is yell and scream. Apparently. Well, I hate LeBron. I hate LeBron. See how they're pushing that? That's apparently what we do. But this time, let's use facts. Let's use logical reasoning and data.
Try to show your muscles on a keyboard. Give me something that I can work with so we can have a proper dialogue and a conversation. Okay, I'm going to get that one out of the way. These LeBron haters get on my damn nerves. I'm going to find out what the... I don't even, try to show your muscles on a keyboard. Give me something that I can work with so we can have a proper dialogue and a conversation. Okay, I'm going to get that one out of the way.
So here's the thing about that, right? Showing your muscles on the keyboard. Most of the people who are in the comment sections for all of these Laker channels and, counteracting LeBron, when you talk about muscle up, they're getting their information from other people, credible YouTubers. There are people who have more followers than this dude because he really don't have that many followers. But there are people who have more followers than this dude who will sit there and counteract what he's talking about. So just because you believe to be on the right side of things, which is LeBron is great and awesome, doesn't mean that people on the opposite side should expect ridicule and mistreatment. Now you just turn it into politics at that point.
These LeBron haters get on my damn nerves. I'm going to find out what the... I don't even know what you guys were complaining about. So I'm jumping into basically a bar fight.
Apparently he knows nothing. He doesn't know why LeBron gets so much hate. He, for the life of him, can't figure it out. He's never seen anything whenever all these games. And keep in mind, he's a beat writer. For all these games he's watched the Lakers, he's just never seen LeBron do anything negative. He's never seen him do anything wrong behind the scenes in the locker room. LeBron has just been a perfect citizen. He's not Homelander. He's Superman. Apparently.
All right. It's like I went to a bar, I was enjoying a drink, and to my left, there are just 2 guys going at it, and then 3 guys, and then 5 guys. And I don't even know what anybody's fighting about. I'm just trying to go over there and be like, guys, is this necessary? Is this necessary?
Imagine bringing...
I kind of want to know why you would see a bunch of people at a bar fight and be like, is this necessary? While they're literally kicking each other's ass. They're literally in the middle of beating each other's ass. And you would just go up and be like, hey, guys, I don't think this is right. And then wonder why you got a beer bottle smashed across your forehead. Am I right?
Your side project to life just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
All right, let's look at a couple of these. Sleeing guys like you refuse to see the totality of James' tenure with the Lakers. Pretty average for a superstar that thinks he's the GOAT. Okay.
He's also not willing to see a dentist because the way the yuck mouth on his teeth, oh my gosh, Alex, you're like, what, 40-something? Take your ass to the dentist, bro. You should have did that 15 years ago. I'm sorry, man. Let me say this, bro. As a man, on a side note, you got to groom yourself, dude. You got to take care of yourself, man. Stop being lazy out here. For all of you who are out here being lazy, take care of yourself, bro. Groom yourself. Bathe every day. Get haircuts once or twice, like once every 2 weeks or so. Buy brand new clothes. Go to the dentist. Go to the eye doctor. Check out your physical health. I'm not saying he's a fat slob, but for you to walk around life with your teeth looking like a fence, Stop, bro. Why? You should have been had braces when you were like freaking 12.
Here's the funny thing, and you're saying that he thinks he's the GOAT. Can you name 3, 4 players? And I don't even think this is the conversation that we're going to go down, but let me just go down this rabbit hole with you. If I told you who's the GOAT, somebody's going to say Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, somebody's going to say LeBron, somebody's going to say Michael Jordan, someone might say Wilt, someone might say Kobe, someone might say Magic, Bill Russell. Let's say there's 3 or 4 names there. Is LeBron not one of those 3 or 4 names? Because if you're
Absolutely not even a little bit. And that's the biggest problem with LeBron. And here's the thing about this GOAT debate, because you just throw a bunch of random names there, mostly Lakers. Look, dude, the biggest problem with LeBron in his entire career is the way that he's marketed. And that includes these beat writers, right? You guys spend X amount of resources marketing LeBron as the chosen one, the GOAT. So all of this vitriol and all of this hate that LeBron's getting is partly because of you and the people who work in your field. You guys spend years, not 23, probably like 26 years, marketing LeBron as the greatest thing since sliced bread and the thing that's going to be better than Jordan. And the biggest problem about all of this marketing is that we have not seen that not once. Not once. Now, I said I'll be fair, so I'm not going to sit here and just say LeBron's trash and hang up the phone. But what I'm going to say is that even if you want to appropriate his career, because LeBron has had some great moments, right? When you look at it from that standpoint, were they ever better than anything you've seen from Michael Jeffrey Jordan? For those of you who are alive to see it, were they better than anything you've seen from Kobe Bean Bryant? Most of the time, you're going to say no. But the way you guys market him, you would think that he was 10 times better. You would think that it was, if you took LeBron, he would equal 5 Jordans. Like 5 Jordans couldn't compare to his greatness. Or 5 Kobes. That's the way you guys push him. The biggest problem with that is that has never ever been done before for any other superstar. Am I saying superstars never got their fair share of credit? Absolutely not. But to be marketed to this extent by the Clutch Sports media, this has never happened for anyone else. That's why he gets more hate, quote unquote hate, than almost anyone else.
You're going to have a conversation about the GOAT, which we're not going to have. It's pretty safe to say that he's going to be somewhere in that conversation. And then it's up to, what somebody thinks. Somebody that maybe grew up.
Sorry, guys.
I'm not one of those 3 or 4 names. Because if you're going to have a conversation about the GOAT, which we're not going to have, it's pretty safe to say that he's going to be somewhere in that conversation. And then it's up to, what somebody thinks. Somebody that maybe grew up in the 60s might look at the league different than somebody that grew up in the 80s. Somebody that's 25 years old is going to view the NBA different than somebody that's 55 years old or 45. I don't want to do the GOAT conversation. Bron needs to emulate.
Okay, so then why did you bring it up? And that's okay with me. We don't have to do the GOAT conversation. Let's just move on and try to figure out why all this hate is going on for LeBron now. And I can tell you why from a Lakers perspective. If you're just talking about straight up Laker fans, right? Let's keep it a buck. Alex, what LeBron has been on this team since 2019, right? And now you can sit here and your reaction might be, well, the Lakers were trash before, so on and so forth. But he's been on this team since 2019. That's 7 years. 7 freaking years, right? What has he done outside of the bubble, right? Because you're going to try to push that as if that's some valuable championship where most people call it a Mickey Mouse ring. What has LeBron done? Keep in mind, he came here, was still in his prime, right? Prime really don't end till like 37, 36, 37, right? So you guys sit here and tell us he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Well, we've had a 7-year sample sheet of him as a Laker. What has he done? And if your response is going to be to tear down someone else, say that Russell Westbrook was trash, or Alex Caruso wasn't good enough, or Austin Reeves is barely developing, or he didn't have no help, which is the first thing that you guys like to push, then you're basically doing the same thing that you're blaming LeBron James haters for doing. They're saying he's not good enough. If your response is going to be that someone else wasn't good enough, then that's why he's not the GOAT. That's why he gets the same hate. Because why do we have to tear somebody else down in order to keep his name clean? 7 seasons. Nothing to show for it outside of a bubble ring where they took 4-5 months off and then basically had a tournament. Ridiculous. And before you get on me and say, oh, well, why tear that down? There's a lot of championships that are kind of like bogus. A lot of people look at the Celtics' last championship. While it was happening, everybody was tearing it down. Not LeBron haters, just everybody. Celtics was OP, this, that, or the third. What did Jason Tatum say? He said, I bet you it's going to be a bunch of people who's going to hate on this ring and say, we didn't play nobody. Because you didn't. Right? What did he say? We'll just have to prove it again next year. That was the same mentality that Kobe and Shaq have to have because they didn't play nobody either. What did they do to retaliate? They three-peated. LeBron, had he two-peated? Like, let's be for real. That's Mickey Mouse bubble ring. Then 2021 comes, and I know some injuries. Here comes the excuses. But they played in the playoffs. Both of them were in the playoffs, and they were up before AD got hurt. So let's say they beat the Suns, right? They get to the finals, they win. They beat Giannis, right? That immediately validates the 2020 ring because you proved it by running it back. Even if you want to blame that on injuries, then that means run it back for the 2022. Instead of the Golden State Warriors winning, you run that back. And then that would validate that bubble ring. But it has been 5 years since then and nothing to show for it. Despite having some of the most talent out of anybody in the league. But yet, it wouldn't matter as much if you guys weren't pushing this narrative that LeBron James is somehow the GOAT of basketball. For Christ, I don't even want to say that, but he even has his wife doing it for him. If that wasn't a thing, this would just be LeBron was a solid, cool player. You might have a top 10 debate. Really probably won't. But he was a really good player. He did his thing. Now everybody is brainwashing and thinking he's the second or first greatest player of all time. He's not either. He's not 1 or 2. He's not 3, 4, or 5. But everybody will sit here and tell you that. That's because even when people tear down LeBron in the media, when they say, first of all, he ain't Jordan, he's the second greatest, you're still saying he's the second greatest. Even that right there is an accomplishment for LeBron. 1 or 2, that keeps him in a conversation he has no business being in. And then there's so many people who think that everybody who hates LeBron is some type of raging Kobe sycophant. I am not. I'm not a fan of no man on that level. The only man I was ever a fan of is my father. All right? And that's how you should be in life. Shouldn't be out here chasing validation from all these other dudes and men that you don't even know. You're going to wind up being like the talented Mr. Ripley. But for me, I could say Kobe the third or second greatest player of all time. And if somebody told me he's not, I'll probably agree with him. I'd be like, okay, no argument there. He was my favorite player. The favorite player I ever saw was Kobe. Do I think he was the greatest player of all time? Absolutely not. I don't think he was on that level. I think you should have a top 5 conversation with Kobe. And if you slot him anywhere between 3 and 7, by all means, go ahead. I think if you slot LeBron anywhere around 3 or 7, you're smoking dick, bro. You're cheesing, fam.
Played a Draymond Green role for this team. Chris, this, my friend, is a great concept that you have in mind. What does Draymond do for the Golden State Warriors? A little bit of everything. I can rebound.
If LeBron was to play a Draymond role, he would actually have to play defense, guys. LeBron doesn't play defense.
For you. I could play defense for you. I could be the quarterback on defense for you. I can get guys in the right position. I got an unbelievable high IQ. But here's the difference between Draymond and LeBron. You could also depend on LeBron to give you 8 assists a game. Draymond can't do that. You could also depend on LeBron. You don't need 30 to give you 22 to 25 a game. That's another strength that LeBron has. But I understand what you're saying here from a concept perspective.
This narrative that they love to push to you that LeBron James is some type of defensive juggernaut is absolutely freaking laughable, bro. It is so insulting to the game of basketball. If LeBron James is as good as defense as you guys say he is, where are his all NBA defense accolades? He's had 23 seasons. Where are they? Like I tell you guys constantly, LeBron stopped playing defense after the 2013 season when he felt like he got snubbed by Marc Gasol. Hurt his feelings. He said he's not going to defend no more. And that's supposed to be y'all GOAT. A give-up cryberry hoe. But either way, LeBron doesn't play any defense. He can't be Draymond. Why this won't fit? When we talk about the Lakers right now, why do a lot of people think it won't fit? It's not because of talent. The Lakers have an influx amount of talent. They have so much talent, it's oozing out of their damn armpits. They're probably one of the only teams outside of the Thunder who has that much freaking talent. And one could say that they have even more talent than the Thunder. If you guys push this narrative that LeBron is some top 5 player, right? The media, that he's an all NBA caliber, all that in the third, then the Lakers should have more talent than the Thunder on paper. According to you guys, is screwed up logic. Yet most people will say the Thunder will win that series. And to be quite honest with you, because LeBron is so wishy-washy on defense, that's the main reason why they're going to win that series. He's going to practice bad behaviors all season long. Not only that, LeBron has no bag. Most of his shots, layups and dunks. That's been stated. So I get tired of you guys pushing this BS, this nonsense about LeBron James and apparently how great he is or how he could be Draymond. Draymond plays an integral role for the Warriors. LeBron James, the reason why he won't fit on this team is because Austin Reeves is a team defender. Luka is now becoming a team defender, but Luka was playing zero defense. You can't have two people on the court who play zero defense and expect to be the second seed and wins almost 70 games. Because right now the Lakers are projected to win about 68 to 70 games. That's how good they're playing. With LeBron on the court, will they still win at a high clip? Yes. But I promise you it's probably going to be somewhere closer to 58 games. You're going to take down 10 games. Keep in mind, LeBron was also minus 55 in the plus minus last year. So you're going to take down about 10 games based off of LeBron James' blunders. That's why they don't want him. Another reason why most people don't want LeBron is because, again, 7 years on the Lakers, nothing to show for it, same old song and dance. He's already 40-something years old. It's time for us to move on. That's what they want. But the last ownership was so dumb and so thirsty that they gave him a 2-year deal.
Perspective, Chris. Okay, now I gotta go find all the haters here real quick. I just want to know their point. That's all I want to know. I don't even care that people disagree. I don't care that if somebody's not happy or confident about LeBron coming back. I just want to know what the angle is. What's the angle? That's it. That's all. And the only way for me to have, obviously a good conversation is to just make sure that there's some substance behind your comments.
Don't you think it's funny that just earlier he was pushing this entire narrative about you bitching and complaining? Those are his words about LeBron. Now he's saying, I just want to understand where it's coming from, guys. Can we use logic to have this convo? Ridiculous, bro. Logically, that tells me you don't know much about basketball like the way you're supposed to. You know more about the beat writing side of it. And that's crazy because you watch a lot of games. We look at this team, bro. He's just not going to be a good fit because he needs to also shoot the ball 23 to 25 times a night. That's how many shots he's going to shoot up, and that's not even including the free throws. You get what I'm saying? So when you look at LeBron, those shots should be going to other players who need to develop. When you have something so young and fresh like this, you're going to want to watch that grow. Not watch the old plants sit over on top of the fresh new plants that are looking all nice and shiny and looking like they're going to be bigger than the old plant. That's the basis of a lot of people's emotions. And what's wrong with that? Even if it comes off as so-called quote-unquote hate like you guys say, honestly, how does LeBron not warrant that if you're a Laker fan? Again, Laker fans, unlike other fans in the league, are off of a championship or bust mentality. That's how they were raised. That's how you grow up. If you had 7, well really 6 times at the gold, right? You had 6 times to hold up that Larry O'Brien and you only did once, they're going to criticize you. And the main reason for it is because you actually did have the talent around you. You had another top 5 player that entire time. Fluke injuries and that aren't good enough. It's not good enough. Alex, if your ratings started to go down, if people stopped watching your columns and listening to your takes, your boss would get rid of you. If you have a boss, they would fire you. You could sit here and be like, well, no, I'm still pushing and I'm still trying. They wouldn't care. Business is business. Why is it wrong that if you support the Lakers, you have the same mentality? Business is business. You failed, get up out of here. The only time you would make excuses, let's say LeBron was on the Lakers for 10 years straight and he won 3 championships in 10 years. Let's say 12 years. Let's give him 12 years. He won 3 championships. And they were kind of spread apart. He'd get all the breathing room you could. If Ohtani just two-peated with the Dodgers, right? The Dodgers went 2020, 2024, 2025. If they don't win again until 2030 or 2029, nobody's going to be calling for Ohtani's job like that. Because they're going to be like, you gave us 2. We just need to figure it out. If Ohtani got hurt or somebody got hurt in the middle of a season, it would be okay. But you don't have room for error if you're LeBron. Because Laker fans ain't going to give a fuck about what you just did in Cleveland. Well, I was in the finals in 2018. Who cares? Who cares? Why does that matter? It shouldn't. And what you did for the Lakers, 2 of those seasons, you couldn't even make the playoffs, fam. You couldn't make the playoffs. And again, you had all the talent in the world. The second time you didn't make the playoffs, you handpicked your roster full of old friends of yours, Carmelo Anthony. You forced them to trade for Russell Westbrook when they were going to do a Buddy Hield swap, which might have honestly had them winning the championship again. You put that destiny in your hands, fam. So no, why do you get all the slack? And why is the hate non-warranted? I'm going to end this here. I'll probably do a part 2, man. Y'all like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think.